Yo, what's going on, man? This is your boy Super Mario, man, and you are in the Yo with your boy. Today we're going to be talking about a device in Reason that we probably all just bypass, or we seen it in a combinator patch, or we just really don't know anything about it because we don't shuffle to the utility tab underneath the devices or whatnot. And this particular device, you can utilize it in a very interesting way when it comes to volume or panning. And today, what I'm gonna share with you guys is how you can get some auto panning. In Reason. When you want to kind of do something interesting with panning in Reason, you can do automation. But that can get very saying time consuming, because you have to draw out points and make sure that it's panning the way it needs to, and sometimes you just need some randomization in your life and stuff like that. So we're going to pull out this device in Reason called Pulsar Dual LFO, and we're going to check out this particular device to see how we can make it do some auto panning on a particular instrument inside of Reason, man. So let's go ahead and pop up Reason Rack and the sequencer, and let's take a look at what we're gonna try to experiment with today. Let's go. All right, so here we are in Reason right now, man. I was working with this beat, man, and getting it prepped up for artists and everything like that. And I noticed that the guitars, I kind of wanted to make the guitars interesting in this track. And the reason why is because of these three instruments that I have soloed right here in the mixer. Now I'm gonna play these three instruments, and you're gonna understand what I'm talking about. All right, so as you can hear in the three sounds and whatnot, the piano is kind of naturally panned to the right, and then I have another kind of like ambient type guitar panned hard left. But this particular guitar right here, it has a lot of staccato notes, and you can hear that the delay, the ping pong delay, is kind of moving the sound left to right, but it's not doing enough in the mix where you can actually hear the left and the right and the randomization to kind of, if you were writing to the track to get you kind of in the zone. So if I was to put this guitar back into the mix, you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and unsolo that, put that back in the mix. All right, cool deal. Now you can hear that the delay, it's adding depth by way of doing the little, ping pong delay, but it's not really, moving it side to side in the stereo spectrum. So what I want to do is use the Pulsar Dual LFO device to kind of do that. I don't want to automate. I don't want to, have to use my mouse cursor or draw these little plot points or anything like that. No, I kind of want to use a device. Just give me some random stuff, so we could just kind of have something interesting in the mix, if that makes any sense. So let's go ahead and pull up the rack view here, and you'll definitely see what I'm talking about. In order to achieve this, now I did use the UVI workstation. It was a guitar library. I forget what it was. I think it was like a Telecaster guitar library that I used. Plus, on top of that, it was a guitar amp sim, and it had a nice ping pong delay, so that gives it that left to right feeling far as the depth. But then what I did was, as you can see in the sequencer window, I bounced it down in Reason or whatnot, by way of bouncing in place and everything like that. So we are technically on the audio track. So in order to achieve this, what we'll have to do is, if you navigate yourself over here to the left side, take the Pulsar Dual LFO device right here. That will be located in the device tabs underneath the utility tabs. Scroll down and you'll see Pulsar Dual LFO. We'll drag that into the insert effects slot. If you don't see that, because it may be collapsed, uncollapse it by hitting the drop down arrow right next to show insert effects, and you will see the Pulsar LFO device. Now, when you hit play, you will hear your audio, but you won't hear what's going on. You can turn this up, down, all this other stuff, and everything like that, and you're not going to hear anything because by default it's not hooked up to anything because this is controlled by control voltage or CB wiring or whatnot. So you have to tab on the back side and look at the back of the rack, and this is where a lot of people don't like Reason. This is where I come in and I love Reason. This is how I actually started my beat making journey is on Reason, and I love hooking up stuff and experimenting. And this is an experimental tool. All right, so we're gonna focus on the CBN hookups and everything like that. All right, so we want to talk about panning. Now, as you can look at the audio track, you will see, saying your parallel audio in, parallel audio outs, dynamic sidechain. You have your insert effect, and you would think this thing would hook up right here by way of insert effects to device and from device, but that is for audio, okay? And then you have the direct out, okay? But all of this right here, the insert effects is for audio. The LFO device is CB controlled. Everything works via CB control, or you can use the audio and hook up it in a different way, but by default it does not hook up automatically to anything, okay? Because we're on the audio track, so you know what I'm saying, it's not going to hook up to anything. You have to hook it up for you, okay? Hope that makes any sense and whatnot. So what we're going to do is that we want the panning on the audio track to go crazy or do what we can control the Pulsar LFO device to do. All right. So what we'll have to do is take this first CB output, okay, and we're gonna hook this up to the CBN on the pan, okay. Now all you have to do is drag it right there. Now Reason is real good for letting you know this doesn't go here, this goes here, because when you left click on whatever pot, you know what I'm saying, that you or should I say left click on any hole or whatnot, and you hover over there, if it's supposed to hook up, it's gonna, you know what I'm saying, illuminate red. Okay, we hook up that pan LFO. That's gonna tell you simply the LFO is going to control the panning options on this particular audio track. Okay, now if we were to hook up the panning to the level, then this LFO control by way of control voltage will send that control voltage or electrical pulses to the level, and you know what I'm saying, now it's just sending electrical waves to the audio signal, and it's just doing some random stuff or whatnot. So I have it hooked up to the level, okay, and check this out. You can keep your audio track volume at where it's at, but you got to make sure you turn down your level because this is that control voltage, that electrical pulse that you're sending to the volume to kind of do whatever you want to do it. So let's go ahead and hit play just real quick. You'll notice that it's moving with the tempo of the track, because we have the tempo synced on right here. Now you could do LFO sync and, you know what I'm saying, play around with the time and everything like that, but we'll just keep it on tempo sync just to keep it, you know what I'm saying, 100 and everything like that. Now you can hit sync right here too. Now this is all being, the pulse is all being, you know what I'm saying, generated by this particular LFO waveform. All right, we're going to use the sine wave just to keep it real simple. And then you got different rates. That's real cool. Like, we just experiment. That's real cool. Now, the good thing about this is that you can control your volume. So let's say, for instance, I want to bring this down right here. So you can control how much. It's not the volume, it's how much of the electrical pulse that you're pushing to alter the audio volume. So regardless of what you do on your mixer channel or your audio track volume or whatnot, that's going to be, you know what I'm saying, set at its standard, you know what I'm saying, volume setting. But these electrical pulses are really kind of, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna say it's controlling the volume overall, but it's just really, utilizing the voltage to kind of, give it a certain movement by way of LFO and everything like that. All right. So what I'm saying, we could bring that down and you get the gist of it. It's kind of manipulating the volume to do certain things by way of LFO. Now, our whole purpose of the video is panning. So we're gonna go ahead and switch that over to the panning, right? And with the panning, what this is gonna do is just basically kind of give you some randomization when the signal can go left to right, left to right. Now we can keep the panning on the mixer track at center. Okay, so I have it panned a little bit to the third position, but I could just go ahead and just put that on 0 and just let the LFO do its thing on the randomization of the panning and everything like that. All right, so we move that to the pan CBN on the audio track. All right, let's go ahead and play around with it. You're not hearing anything because the LFO rate sync is at a high value at 1/16. That's kind of, and you probably won't hear it. So we have to lower that rate now. Increase the level. Now you're starting to hear it. Now you're starting to hear some movement left to right as we slow the rate down. Now we're on a sine wave as far as the LFO wave and everything like that. If we want to, let's say, get real funky with it and do some random wave file, then check this out. Now you're probably not going to hear what this is doing, so we have to increase the rate. We increase the level just a little bit. You see what I'm saying? You can hear like the random and everything like that. Or you can do a sawtooth. You can do square, which is going to be real rigid. Now the shuffle is just going to alter the time and kind of pull back on the timing and not make it really 1/4. And the lag is going to be another timing issue as well. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to kind of slow down just a little bit or whatever the case may be. So it's just really, saying how you want to do this or whatnot. But we're going to keep it really, really simple. We're going to go back to the sine wave, or I could go to a triangle wave. It just depends on what I want to do. But I kind of want to make this a little bit more prominent. So I'm going to go to a triangle wave. And yeah, that sounds better than the sine wave. The sine wave was a little bit too smooth. I like the triangle, and I got it at 95%. Let's take it back to 2/4. I like that. We're going to tab over here. And you can do pretty much the same here. You can kind of control that voltage back a little bit. If it's too much, or you can increase it. Now, if you want separate control, what we can do is utilize the LFO2 here, and we can go and hook that one up to the level. All right. And now we can actually, get some really interesting things, because now we can use this LFO2. We could put it on sine wave, for example, and then really kind of, put that on tempo sync, put that on 4/4, and then we can really control that volume and we can get some really good randomization. Now let's check this out. And that actually kind of helps because maybe if we were to turn off LFO2, right? And the randomization on LFO1 for as the panning, it just may not be as prominent. So we can use LFO2 to really, attenuate, or excuse me, really boost the panning by way of pushing volume pretty much at the same rate. Now, if I was to put this on 2 to 4, I want to see how this will sound, because it'll naturally be pushing at the same time. Yeah. So exactly my theory. So these two LFO waveforms having the same pulsating rate at different levels. Well, as far as the volume level being a little bit of on a boost, you're really kind of boosting the panning effect, if that makes any sense. Now, if that's too much, we could just turn down the level. This is a really, really cool trick. I like this. All right, let's take it out solo. Has kind of like a pumping effect. All right, let's go ahead and mute our other guitar and the piano. Bring back down that pulsating volume. Bring it down just a little bit. Let's crank up the pan just a little bit more. Wow, that makes a world of a difference. All right, let's go ahead and let's take down the LFO and just turn it off. You can hear kind of the standard. So that's with no LFO, you feel me? No LFO. The reason why I say it's no LFO, because we turned down the control voltage, coming in and whatnot. So everything is set at 0. And I'm going to increase it back up so you can hear the difference. That's with nothing. Let's go ahead and increase it. Yeah, I like that. It just kind of give it a psychedelic feel. Let's go ahead and increase this LFO. So we are on 2 to 4. Let's increase it to 1 to 4, and let's see how the different pulsating voltage responses are going to affect how it sounds. Yeah, I didn't really hear the effect, but definitely keeping these two on the same, LFO rate, definitely give it that psychedelic, because they're basically working together. Again, the panning doing its job, and then the volume far as giving it that pumping sensation. That way, when the pan goes left, right, or however it's doing, the volume is pushing left and right as well, so you can get more of a strength far as the LFO volume, the LFO waveform, and the control voltage, pushing that sound left to right or whatnot, man. So yeah, that was pretty cool right there. Just really, showing you guys how you can use Pulsar Dual LFO device and not use it just as a LFO effect on an instrument, but really use it on the actual mixer itself by way of hooking up the CB into the audio track and controlling the pan or the level. Really, really simple. By taking the CB output on LFO1 or LFO2, hooking it up to CB in on your audio track, and this probably could work on the mixed track too. And having some creative control over your volume and you're panning, man. Hey, this has been your boy Super Mario, man. You have been in the yo with your boy, man. If you like this video, go ahead and hit a like right here, man. And as always, man, y'all subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, man. Until next time, man, y'all stay creative and keep your head on a swivel. You have been in the yo with your boy, man. Reason Pulsar Dual LFO, creative panning with that particular device, man. We out of here, man. Y'all be easy.